Hey gods and goddesses, this is Trisha from Light of Lemuria. Today I'd love to talk about the priestess path. What does it mean to be a priestess and to take on the priestess path? Well, let me entertain you today and let me dive deep into what this all means. Now, there is such a movement now at the moment of goddess vibes and goddess energy and priestess this and priestess that, priestess archetypes. What does all this mean? When I'm talking about the priestess path, I'm not talking about an archetype of the priestess. I'm talking about, and if you know my background, I am a high priestess in the ancient Egyptian mystery school. Priestess to Isis, Sekhmet, and Hathor. For me, what it means to be a priestess, and when I teach my priestesses, the priestess has many paths on her path, on the main path. But for a priestess, it is to be a vessel of the goddess work. Let me say that again. To be a priestess is to be a vessel of the goddess and to bring that into humanity. So priestess work is to go in service of this energy, to be of service of this light of the goddess, bringing her work through you and not in an egotistical way, because guess what, she will kick your fucking ass. It is to be completely humble in her working in her purest form without tainting it, and to bring this through to teach others, or whatever your priestess gift is. Maybe it's a healer, the shaman, the medicine woman, the keeper of the earth, the witch, the astrologer, the dancer, the singer, the musician, whatever the messages, how the messages come through. That's another part of finding, and that's what I love to teach as well, to help priestesses find their priestess gifts. But that is one of the most beautiful parts of being a priestess, is to find your gifts, but also to be of service of this light, not for self, not for self, not for validation, to say, oh look, I'm adorned, I look like a goddess, yes, I sort of feel like a goddess. No, that's not the priestess, that's not a priestess path. That is not the priestess path. The priestess path is to embody, 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 to be a vessel of this light. And another part of the priestess and her mission, her path, is to go through initiations as well. So as you are giving service and being and stepping aside, stepping your ego aside to allow this energy to come through, to be a vessel, you need to keep the vessel or the container pure and clean. And that is also then working on yourself. The more light you bring in, the more energy comes through. The more you're working on yourself, the bigger the container, the more the energy comes through. Yeah. So initiations, a priestess will always go through soul initiations, teachings and learning, and it depends on what goddess or god you're working with will dictate what initiations you will go through. For me, for goddess Isis, initiations, and they can be so heartbreaking, but she doesn't break your heart. They can be soul destroying. They can be so heartbreaking. She doesn't break your heart because she's mean. She breaks your heart to open you up to your full potential. So a priestess always goes through initiations, soul initiations. Goddess Isis is one of my goddesses. So her initiation for me was the art of surrender, the art of letting go, allowing that to come through, to expand my wings in my heart, to elevate me into my full potential. And there's always initiations throughout your life as a priestess. You will always be working on yourself, on your soul mission, your soul, not just your soul purpose, but your soul's evolution. So there's a soul evolution and a soul mission and purpose. Yeah. Now, with a priestess, she can also be given a few paths, or one path, but a few missions and assignments. And it depends on what that is. It could be working as a tantrika, or working in the arts of sacred sexuality, and also a healer, a speaker, a writer. So these are the things. This is, with the priestesses, so much talk about the archetype of the priestess. The archetype means a part, or the literature, the art of her. When I talk about the priestess, I'm talking about full embodiment, like in ancient Egypt, when the priestesses would devote their life to the goddess and the work. And this is coming up now in our timeline right now. Women are seeking out, they know, they come to this point, they know they need to do more with their life and their world. Some are scared to step into this path. And I tell you, sisters, don't be scared. It is the most rewarding, multi-orgasmic, multi-dimensional realities that you could ever walk. And it is worth it. It is so worth it to be doing everything that you love, with mission, with purpose, and with the goddess beside you. Yeah? So I don't talk about, of course, the priestess archetype is amazing to understand, to embody, to sort of dip your feet into the shallows as I talk about it. But to walk the path of the priestess is to jump and dive into the void of the depths of the ocean. It is to surrender yourself in devotion to a higher purpose, your highest purpose, your highest mission. And so for those beautiful sisters, women that are wanting to step on this path, I invite you to come and join me on the Priestesses of Isis. Come and join me and allow me to be your guide, to stand at the doorway, or to open the door, to invite you to walk through your own first initiation of many, to invite this into your world. This is for sisters that are feeling that deep call to be of service to humanity, to bring through the ancient teachings, that are feeling that divine, sacred, dark, feminine force coming through them, and to be able to be a vessel of this, to teach others, to be of service of this. This is for sisters that want to step into true empowerment, the full potential of who you are. If things don't feel quite right in your world and you're looking for something different, know that there is something different out there. There is something more magical. So I invite you to come and join me to learn about the ancient ways, or the priestesses coming together now, bringing in these magics, these ancient rituals, these practices, sex magic, sacred sexuality, how to embody and being an embodied goddess, and not just talking about it, but actually feeling it, being that vessel of light, going through shadow work with me, going through blood magic, moon magic, witchcraft, medicine women, shamanic practices, tantra for women, Egyptian tantra, sex magic of Isis, so much more. To be able to embody all parts of your feminine, your dark, your light, your sacred, your whore, your seductress, to become sexually mature and embodied, to feel alive again. So come and join me. All the details are below. Blessings, sisters, to you that feel the call for the path of the priestess.